Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to an episode of Senior Living Today. I know you might be used to seeing Joey Bright here in the center chair, but he's given me the opportunity to host the show for this evening, and I'm very blessed to have the opportunity to kick off a show with such an amazing person and definitely a very funny character when you really get to know him. My name is Jeremy Crawford. I'm your host, and before we get too much further, I'm going to pass it off to Cheryl to touch on our sponsors for the show and introduce our guest.
Yes. Good evening. It's good to be with you again. Our sponsors this evening are Brett Hill with First Class Real Estate Triangle East here in Rocky Mount. He's located over on Falls Road at the Mills Complex. And I've known Brett and his wife. They're both in business together for, 5-6 years or thereabouts. Very knowledgeable people about the market between here and Raleigh. Very knowledgeable. And they're also knowledgeable about the process of doing the buying or the selling. So good people to work with. And our other sponsor is Brian West with Wires Inc. I know my little thing there is to say that if your truck is worth $82,000 or worth $820, you need a good bed liner. They're the guys to get it from. And the other thing they do really well, I've noticed as I get older, that my headlights seem to be dimmer all the time. I'm not sure what causes that. So I went to see them one day and they put brighter lights on there for me and it's worked great. So they can help you out with that also. And this evening, we are just really pleased to have with us as our guest tonight, Patrick Ignacio.
You got it right, sir.
That's it. All right. Ward Specialty Pharmacy. And he is on Sunset Avenue, right across the street from the Harris Teeter grocery store. Good, easy landmark to remember. And of course, Ward is Ward Specialty Pharmacy, and we'll just be talking tonight with Patrick about how you can use those services, what they can provide for you. And I guess, Patrick, one of the first things I would ask you would just be, what does the word specialty mean in the specialty pharmacy?
Thanks, sir. Before anything else, I would like to thank you guys for inviting me over
Yes,
here.
sir.
And I would like to greet all the televiewers out there for having me here.
Yes,
so, Ward Specialty, by the way, is we used to be in Nashville. It's called Ward Drug.
Yep.
And we moved to Rocky Mount as Ward Specialty Pharmacy. It's called Specialty Pharmacy because, again, we all know that not all pharmacies are the same. Ours is actually specialty because we have a niche market.
Okay.
We're only the ones, we're doing only compounding in the 40-mile radius, and that's actually our advantage. There are different specialty pharmacy out there who are specializing more specific in condition, but the way we are operating is more on compounding, meaning we mix medications.
Okay. Okay. So you are the only compounding pharmacy in the 40-mile radius?
Yes, sir. We're the only compounding pharmacy. In fact, sometimes it's a joke. I regard myself as a, what do you call this, a smuggler of wellness. The reason I'm saying that because, number one, I make drugs and I push drugs, but always remember, guys, I'm doing it in a positive way as a compounding pharmacist, okay?
All right. That's good, man. That's good. Well, I know my wife swears by you guys. She's been a client of yours for 2 or 3 years at least. And she just thinks y'all the greatest things in the world.
Thank you, sir.
And you're doing a compounding for her. So she absolutely likes what y'all do for her. Now, I guess my question, Patrick, would be in the realm of working with the senior market, what do you see as the most common thing maybe that you do for that?
Sure, that's a good question, because when we talked about senior living, most probably, most of you televiewers are thinking, do I need compounding? Well, to be honest, everyone needs compounding. The reason for that is that we are the basic foundation of pharmacy. So without the pharmacy doing compounding, those drugs there won't be available. Even Pepsi and Coke, those person was actually started by a pharmacist compounding that one. So for those senior out there, there's a lot of things that we can do. I would say if you're actually in your 60s and you want testosterone, for instance, you need testosterone. We can do that. If you're having some difficulty with your medications, in terms of taking that, we can convert that into a liquid form, into a cream form, in a troche form. There's a lot of things that we can offer that most people are not aware of. And I just wanted to let you know that in our area we are the only compounding pharmacy, and I'm very proud of that. But also we can be a resource. Remember, Cheryl, we won't be here if not because of you guys. You are the reason why we are here, and that's the reason also we are existing. We can't be close, a lot of compounding, a lot of those pharmacies who used to have compounding, they shut down their compounding pharmacy, but we are still here. Because again, my philosophy is that, our profession is like a mission. We wanted to help, and we wanted actually to serve the community. And as long as they need us, and sometimes even though you don't need us, we try to be there for you guys. And that's the reason we're existing.
Yes. Now, one thing I will say that I have realized, listening to my wife's conversations with you and with the other people in your business, y'all do a wonderful job of consulting, just explaining to people. So if you have questions, jot this down here at the house there. Patrick's phone number in the office there is 459-5544. So if you have questions, they are wonderful. It's on the screen now. They are wonderful about taking your calls and answering your questions. Because I know my wife for a period of time there was calling you guys a lot. When you were kind of working on some different things for her, she spoke with y'all, and you were always extremely helpful. Excuse me.
Let me touch on one before we go a little bit further. You said that if it were not for the clients, the customers, the patients that you might see, your business wouldn't be what it is today. And I wanted to touch on that a little bit longer, because it is because of who we have watching the show that is the reason why you're here today, because there were a lot of questions about wills and trusts. There were a lot of questions about what do I do with my house as I age into something that might be assisted living. But there were many questions related to prescriptions, pharmacies, and compounding. So you hit the nail on the head when you said if it weren't for what they were wanting and needing, you wouldn't be here. And so we really appreciate you taking the time to come on tonight.
Yes, Jeremy. I wanted to point it out. We are here for you guys. I'm so grateful for these two gentlemen that they allowed me to be here, because I get so excited. Because I feel like, again, this is a passion for me. We try to help individuals like you who's wanting to have optimal health all the time. So that's why I mentioned about we as a resource of this community. And we encourage everyone to utilize us, because again, if you go to Wilson, they're wanting us to move there. But I said, we're from here. And they wanted even for us to expand our, our business over there in some other areas. But I can't. Because again, I can't divide myself. I'd rather have be here in Rocky Mount and have them come here.
Right. Well, I'm glad you're here, man. I'll tell you that. What would you say are maybe some other services that you offer through Ward Specialty?
Okay. So again, the main thing we have different portfolios. So one of our main portfolio is the compounding. Right. When we talked about compounding, we can actually 30 minutes is not enough. So we can have, we have pain, areas, pain market. We have, the pediatrics. We have even ear, the ENTs. We have dermatological. So that's only a few of those. Okay. The other portfolio that we have is more on nutritional supplementation. Guys, I mean, we would carry pharmaceutical grade supplements, and that's makes us, different. Not everyone, most people thought that all supplements are the same. No, they're not. That's one thing that I would guarantee to you, that when you go to ward, and again, ward is yours. It's not just me. It means, it's a service for everyone. So if you go to ward, you feel like, it's your home, because again, what we have is yours, and our knowledge is being imparted to you guys, even your seniors or whatever. We're here for you. So those are the two portfolios, and we wanted to educate, the public more about that, especially right now that, we have the pandemic.
Right.
Most people doesn't know what to do in terms of boosting their immune system. Probably we're going to talk about.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We have that on the list to talk about that very thing. What are there any? I mean, I'm sure there's probably a million different things you could talk about, but are there any specific areas or illnesses or sicknesses that can really be addressed through compounding?
That's a good point, Mr. Sherrill. So again, when we touch on specific, health conditions, I mean, what makes compounding available? Remember, number one, if the drug is not available in the market, because again, most people thought, oh, can you compound everything? Not really. So there are actually, parameters wherein we can make a compound. Okay? When we talked about compounding, number one, if the drug is not available. So like recently during the pandemic, it's not a drug, but we had a scarcity of the what do you call this, hand sanitizers. We are the only ones that was able to make that and actually serve the community, because we have the knowledge of making it. We have the facility, so we were able to cater that as well. Second is that if the medication is not available, as I mentioned, we can do that, because we're making compounds or medications from scratch, from powder. Second is that, let's say Jeremy has a specific allergy to a certain filler, and he would say, I need this medication, but I have an allergens on specific filler. We can have that removed, so that the patient can comply on the medication. And thirdly, let's say, Cheryl, you can't take any tablet, and you want that to be converted into a liquid or into a cream preparation. We can do that. That's actually how amazing and the flexibility in a compounding. And we try to work with doctor. We are not, most people think that, or most doctors are thinking that we are a competitor. No, we're not. Right. We're here to work with them because we have a solution that can actually help a patient. Right. And even the seniors, let's say, guys, if you're taking a bunch of medications, let's say a pain medication, the topical cream, we can combine 3-4 medications in one cream. So that's how amazing, because again, we have a topical cream out there, but there's only one that has one component, and that's it. We can combine 3, 4, 5 in it, and again, that will help, and that reduces the medication into one form only.
Sure, truly tailor the medication directly to what their needs are.
Yes, that's the point.
I like that.
Tailor.
That is cool. Wow.
And we've said this many times, 30 minutes is never enough time.
No.
And we often get calls that say, wait, hey, can you bring that person back on? Can we dive a little deeper?
Yeah.
As we get ready to head to break, I'll put this out there. We know that this 30 minutes is not enough time to really pick Patrick's brain and pull a bunch of information that might be beneficial to you. If you have any more questions that we can't cover tonight, please give us a call. Our number can be up on the screen. It is 252-316-8166. And whether you call Patrick's number or ours, we can make sure that the question gets to Patrick so he can address it.
Yes.
And for those who have continued to call in over the last several weeks and provided guidance or insight or requests about guests, please continue to do so.
Yes.
You guys are really the reason why we're here trying to share the information that we have. We appreciate your time, and we'll get back to you guys in just a few minutes after the break.
Hi, Cheryl Braswell with Statewide Insurers Group. Are you turning 65 and do you have questions about your Medicare options? Let Statewide Insurers Group help you choose the insurance plan that best suits your needs now. We at Statewide Insurers Group are all things Medicare. We're here and can help you through this challenging time, by phone, by email, or if you prefer, come by the office. We're following all protocols during this difficult time. Folks, relationships matter. You and your family have important questions. We have the correct answers. You do not want to put this off. Act today. Give us a call at Statewide Insurers Group. Our number is 252-316-8166.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from the break. Again, I'm Jeremy Crawford. We have with us tonight as our special guest, Patrick Ignacio from Ward Specialty Pharmacy. And just like before the show, we actually received a couple questions during the break that we're going to touch on now. Cheryl, you mind getting back into those?
Sure. And please remember, folks, work with our sponsors.
Yes.
First Class Real Estate, Triangle East, Brett Hill and his crew, and also Brian West at Wires Inc. Great people. Questions that we've had come up: do you have to go to your doctor to get your drugs compounded?
Yes, sir. That's what I told you, right? I mean, we work with your doctor. In fact, we make recommendations also. If, let's say, you come and see us and visit us, and you happen to have, hitting the wall and you don't have any solution. So we talk. We actually, discuss that with you, and then we send recommendations to your doctor, because everything that needs to be compounded is required to have a prescription.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I did not realize that. So, are there any things that, well, you just said you can't compound something unless you have a prescription for it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's how strict the Board of
Yeah.
Pharmacy here in North Carolina.
Okay.
Well, if I could clarify, if they already have a prescription but they just want it into a different form, would that require another prescription?
Yes, I still actually
Okay.
get in touch with the prescribing physician
Okay.
and ask them and inform them, hey, this
Right.
is what we're doing right now. And then after we actually fill that one, we check the patient and then we report back to the
Right.
doctor. Hey, doc, your patient is very happy with this one. Doc,
Right.
this is not working. We need to try to do
Right.
some tweaking.
I got you. Okay.
That's a great service, because I know medications vary so much from person to person. Everybody has their own reaction, I guess you could say, to different medications.
Yep, that's a point there. I mean, every individual is different.
Yeah.
So it's very unique. I mean, we're doing actually, that's tailored to you specifically.
Right. That is, wow. Of course, Jeremy and I both work with Statewide Insurers Group here in Rocky Mount, and the question is, does your insurance pay for your compounded
$1 million
service?
question.
The $1 million question.
Okay, that's a good question. We used to be in network with any insurance before with all the insurances. Unfortunately, because again, in compounding, it's not FDA approved. So right now, most of insurances are not paying, with the compounds. But what's exciting with this one is that, most people thought if it's not covered by insurance, it's expensive. No, it's not. In fact, most of the copay is almost similar to the cost already of the insurance. And what is more meaningful here? For instance, a medication that costs, let's say, $60 or $80. that particular compound, if you're actually using the insurance, I mean, you have that same almost copay, and then you're paying like like $1,000 for that. So in short, I mean, it's a double whammy. Unlike if you're paying it in cash, it's lesser compared to what they're if you're charging insurance with that.
Yeah, that is very true. We learned that several years ago, working with our clients who are on prescription drug plans, that a lot of times they can ask the pharmacist, how much is this if I pay cash today? And I was surprised, even a couple of prescriptions I had were actually cheaper for me to pay the cash price than to even use my insurance at all on that.
I wanted to point out something quick, especially those who are using hormones, for instance. We have that the donut hole thing.
Yes.
So prior to that, I mean, people cannot get their medications, right? So they can actually inquire ward. I mean, can I actually fill this, and can you do this for us? Because especially for the for most pain medications. So that in a way we can be we can help all those seniors, because rather than having nothing or waiting until it kicks in, we are here for you. We are here for you guys.
Now let me say that back to you so make sure I understood this. So if I have a client, or like myself, I'm on Medicare and I have a prescription drug plan, and I'm coming up on the infamous donut hole, I can come to you and we can see if maybe you can
help me with that
to get me through the donut hole for less money out of my pocket.
Yes.
You are the man, Patrick.
That's the big point there. Guys, I mean, I'm letting you know that because nobody knows that. Especially those who are women who are getting their hormones. My God, they're paying like $300, $400.
Yes.
Wherein you can get that from us for only like $60 to $65.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
That's an information, guys.
Yeah.
You should be thankful for these two guys for inviting us, because we can help you through them.
That is fabulous, man. I need to have about 60 of your cards in my office, so when, especially this fall when people start coming up on the donut hole, man, that's incredible.
Well, speaking of the donut hole, I know we have a lot of clients that are eligible for Medicare and are getting some sort of coverage right now, and they're familiar with what that donut hole means. Can you explain to the audience what it means if they haven't quite learned that lesson yet?
There is a formula. I'm gonna do the Reader's Digest version.
The short version.
The short version, yeah.
So we're gonna take all this time.
There is a formula that is applied to the cost of your prescriptions. And I'm just going to make I'm just making this entirely up, but let's just say you have a prescription with a $5 copay, and once you have spent, between you and the drug manufacturer, you have spent a certain amount of money. When you hit that number, then you, the consumer, have to pay more out of your pocket, for a period of time on those drugs. And what Patrick is saying is, come to our office, come to Ward Specialty Pharmacy, and let them see if they can compound that drug for you and end up helping you pay much less out of pocket, because that won't hurt you from your prescription plan standpoint. That will have no detrimental effect on that. It just helps you financially.
I just wanted that's correct. But I just wanted to clarify. Again, I mean, we can compound things that number one, I mean, it's not commercially available, and if there could be because we don't want a misleading thing that we would make an alternative to your medication.
Right.
But there are things that we can actually do that's available. I saw that already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. That is fabulous, y'all. That was worth the price of admission tonight for that one question, that one little tidbit. That was worth every bit of it right there.
Because that donut hole is a painful process for some people.
It's, my dad, y'all will hear me talk about him a lot because he's been around the block 3 or 4 times, and he's 90 years old and just clicking right along, doing great. But I get that phone call towards the end of the year, but hey, man, why all of a sudden my prescription's going up,
Right.
And that's...
Can we add one thing?
Yeah.
Imagine if Cheryl is in pain, for instance, and you hit that donut hole, right? So, and imagine you don't have any medication for that. What will you do? Will you wait for 3 months? you might get crazy because of that pain, right?
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Oh,
Right.
yeah.
And that's going to always lead to other medical complications when you're
Right.
Yeah.
dealing with something like that.
Is there, is there a range, Patrick, of the cost of compounding or?
Good question, sir. It depends on the type of ingredients. That's
Okay.
why. Basically, the number of hours that we're working on it, because there are
Okay.
compounds that we have to do it like overnight or probably 30
Okay.
minutes only, an hour. So it depends on that. So the price range is from $45 depending on
Right.
what is it really. But for pain cream, for instance, that would range for $55 to $100 for instance. But look, I mean that's already a combination. The one that's available out there, the pain cream that you're using, that's only one, and that's very expensive. It's almost like $500 to $1,000.
Wow. Wow. How much time we got left?
We're running out of time. This 30 minutes went by fast tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and we're really thankful for Patrick and the
Yes.
information he's been able to share. We didn't even begin to touch on the volume of questions we had for Patrick. Please, if you've asked a question and you've given it to our office, call Patrick and address it with him and let him give you the answer that you're looking for.
Can I plug one more thing?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Guys, I mean, for the seniors, if you're looking for something that would help boost your immune system, please
There we
call
go.
us.
There we
That's
go.
it.
Okay?
That was,
Because now
Yeah.
it's very relevant, the COVID thing. Again, vaccine is great, but it's not 100% guarantee. You still need to boost your immune system,
Yes.
and I can help you that because I helped a lot of people here on Rocky Mount in terms of not preventing, but at least helping them boost their immune system. It saved them
yeah.
tremendously.
Great.
Thanks again, everybody. We will see you in 3 weeks on the first Tuesday of April at 6 p.m.
We'll have a travel agent with us that night.
Yes, thank you.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Guys, thank you.
Thank you so much. Everybody have a good evening.